to make some barrel pants, and I thought I'd try this pattern because I found it on Etsy, and it's called the barrel pant, and I thought it was quite nice. Whether it suits me or not is another question. But it's kind of got an elasticated waist, it's got pockets on the back. I don't know that I'll bother with the back pockets, but I quite like the look of it, and I saw the picture and I thought it was quite nice. Now I'm putting together the PDF. I like doing PDFs, but I have to say this has, my first complaint is the overlap of the pattern, and I am doing one, I've done it 100%. Those are your little dots. I don't know if you can see those tiny little dots. That's what you match. And it is so close to the edge, like that. So you've got to overlap them. That this paper, I did a couple of vlogs about a month or two back, showing you how I stick patterns together, PDF patterns together. And I use a glue stick. And they usually overlap quite well, and I have at least about 1/2 inch to 1 inch that I can glue one piece of paper over the other. But this, and I refuse to trim papers down. I use a thin paper, so it's not too, I think I'm in the wrong place. I'll turn myself around. Hang on a second. Because his lordship's ladders are there. He's busy decorating. That's better. You can see me better. They have little dots there that you've got to just match up. I think you match them up. And yeah, you kind of match them up, which gives you about 5mm of overlap. So glue stick's not going to work there. So sadly, I've had to resort to sellotape, which I don't mind, but it's a bit annoying when I've been telling you about how glue sticks are better. I think I've just started sticking it up, and I'm already seeing that it's catering for somebody who's about 6'6", and I'm only 5 foot. So I think it's going to look absolutely massive on me, the length. So I'm going to have to do, although I've stuck all these pieces of paper together, I think I'm going to have to cut about 1.5 foot, 12 inches off, or maybe it's more, to make it fit my figure. So while I'm on, I'm going to tell you about another pattern that I've downloaded from Etsy, and it's called the Aura pattern. And it's there, that one there, Aura, and basically it has a drawstring top and straight legs or wide legs. I wanted to see what that's like. The reason why I downloaded these is because they're not very expensive. I'll put up here, up there, the price that I paid for both of these, but they're not very expensive. I think it's about £3 or £4. And much as I love all these very expensive ones, there's one pattern that everybody goes on about, and those are the bob pants. So I would like you to tell me whether it's worth me paying for the Stylark bob pants. I haven't bought I have only bought one thing from Stylark. I love the clothes, I love the look of them, but I've only ever bought the Montana pattern. And I like the fact that they've added extra bits to it, but I never bought the extras. And so I've only made a Montana dress, which is very, very similar to the one that I made. It was like a little bodice. The Montana, yes, it has a bodice and then it's gathered and slightly gathered underneath, if I remember rightly. I ought to make that one again. I don't know. It's quite nice. I like that one. I made 2 or 3 of that one, if I remember rightly. So, yes, this is the Aura patterns, and I thought I'd try those. Now, another pattern that I actually haven't told you about it. I bought it last summer, and I thought, I actually bought it, and I made it up, and I love it. And I never got around to telling you about it. So, it was bought on Etsy, and if you remember, those of you who watch me regularly, I told you about a pattern that I made that I downloaded from Lacala, and I actually didn't think much of it when I made it. It was a reversible one, and it was the one where the ties go around the front or the ties go around the back, and you put your head through and wrapped it round. I'll put a link to here to the one that I made, and I made it with a dark blue or a black on one side. I think it was black on one side, and a cotton pattern on the other side. It was nice, but I didn't like the way when it wrapped around. It was more or less a straight up and down one. And I just didn't think that that looked very nice. So I actually modified it. And I've got it up in my wardrobe now. I took the wraparound off. And I made it so that it just fits. What did I do? Oh, I made the wraparound come underneath. And then I permanently sewed so that the front is actually hanging over the wraparound. So it still has a bit of a split, but it doesn't have these ties that tie up at the front. And I think that that made a big difference. But I haven't worn it yet. I've never got it out. Now it's probably too big now. I'll have to get it out and have a look at it. But this one that I've made, this latest one that I made after that, is like you could use it as a pinny. I think I saw somebody on Instagram. It was a woman on Instagram, and she had made loads of them. I think she sold them. And she kept trying all these different ones on. And I thought, that looks really nice. So I thought, right, I'm going to find the pattern. And I found it on Etsy. And I'll put a link to the pattern below if you're interested. I thought, I'll find the pattern and I'll make one. And I'm used some cheap cotton that I had, like a polka dot type cotton. And it turned out really nice. And I thought it was rather nice. Again, there's another one I've never got round to wearing, but I will wear it this year. And because it wraps over, even though I've lost weight, it can fit me now the same as it fitted me before, because you're wrapping it round, and so it's adjustable. I shall tell you about that one. I'll show you that pattern. And yes, I thought it was lovely. It was a very quick make, and so I highly recommend it. I don't know what price it is now, but I know I didn't pay much for it last year. What I want to tell you about is that I got an SEO to look at my YouTube vlogs. And I know I was telling you in the last one I wasn't getting many viewers. And they said that apparently I've got a very high rating for a lot of things that I do. A lot of people like the things where I explain how you do things. And they like the sew-alongs. So that's why I started doing some sew-alongs. But they also said that the reason that held it back, that held my audience numbers back, was because I had too many different things. I was doing sewing, I had his lordship on, I was showing you how to clean rings, I was showing you how to cook something, or his lordship was showing you how to cook. We were going away on holiday and telling you about that, and what it said was, it's all great, but YouTube doesn't know which category to put you into. So what I decided to do, and it was on the advice of the SEO and on the advice of AI, I've taken all of those down. I've basically chilled them or put them in the freezer, or what do they say? There's a special word and I can't think of it. That's my memory's going. I'm hoping I'm not getting dementia because I keep forgetting words, but I've spent my life forgetting words. I've basically put them into hibernation, sort of. Anything that's been linked to holidays, anything that's been linked to his lordship, anything been linked to anything that's not sewing, I've kind of just withdrawn them, unlisted them. That was it. I've unlisted them. And it says you could start up a new one where that moves across to it. So I was thinking that's a good idea. I could unlist them, and then I can download them onto my computer and then upload them to a new vlog site where I can bring in his lordship a lot more, where I can tell you about our holidays and where we can do other things. And you were asking me about how I lost weight. So I thought, oh, I could put that in there and do a lot more on that side. So I'm going to set up a new channel, and the channel is called, I forgot what it's called. The channel is called Me and Mr. W Life After 70. Or is it after 75? Because we're both 75 now. Don't know. Life After 70. It's definitely Me and Mr. W. So what I'll do is, I haven't started it yet, but when I do, I shall tell you and I'll give you the link. But what I want to do is get a few things together and move them across, and then it gives you more than one video to watch. A lot of you will have seen those videos anyway, but I'm going to gradually move them across. I think I'll keep the very old ones where in cold storage, because you might not want to watch those things, or I might bring them up later. I don't know. But anyway, you can tell me what you think, whether I should restore all the old ones that I've put unlisted and bring them on across to that, Or should I start afresh completely? Anyway, so it's going to be me and Mr. W. And the reason why I call it Mr. W is he will still be his lordship, because he is his lordship. I always call him his lordship, but I call him his lordship to you. And there's times where I say, what are you doing, your lordship, to him? But often I say, hello, Mr. W. How are you today, Mr. W? Because his name is Waddington. But I'm not Mrs. W. I'm married to him, although I'm not wearing the wedding ring anymore because I can't get it on my fingers. But I'm married to him. But when we got married, I said, I'll marry you, but I don't want to change my name. So I kept my maiden name, which is my French name. So I am Micheline Dussard. He is Brian Waddington. And the two of us are me and Mr. W. And I kept my maiden name, and I keep saying, oh, we'll put down that Mr. and Mrs. W when we go to hotels, which we don't really. It's quite often booked in. I book them, and they're often in my name. So I think I'm going to start a second one. I hope you do. It might keep you interested. The good thing about the second one is it's not going to be as organised. So I probably hope to put more up, because it's just going to be me and him about what we're doing, our daily things that we do daily, the mess that we make, the things that we do. Behind me is a mess. It's usually my mess. And he's got his ladders up because he's going to be busy painting the conservatory windows, because they're looking a bit grotty in corners, so he's touching those up. But I just thought you might fancy watching a bit of me and Mrs. W. No, me and Mr. W. I don't know if this is still going. Let's see if it's still going. Yes, it's still going. So that is what I'm planning to do. I'm planning to have two vlogs, two sections. This is going to be the sewing one. This is still going to be Micheline Makes. Still going to be sewing. I do love that you like my peg bag. And today, funnily enough, his lordship's daughter's stopping with us. She comes and stays with us every now and again. She wanted to hang some washing out. And I said, oh, you must try my little prototype. So she put that on and she said, that is absolutely fantastic. So I really need to get going on that. And I shall try and get a prototype, or try and get a vlog put up this week. I have to put up this week so you can see, because this is the weather for hanging your washing out on the washing line. And I think I've, as I say, I've rattled it up very quickly. When I do it, it will not be one of those like you see on the vlogs where they've lined them with fabric on the inside and fabric on the outside. I'm going to keep it to a basic thing so you can rattle one up yourself very quickly, and you can use it to put your pegs in and hang your washing out. But it's really good. I'm really impressed by it. And I said to you that I wasn't sure what I had made it with was PVC, but I think we can get around that if you have some iron-on interfacing that's probably thicker. Or I suppose you could put two together maybe, so I don't know. But I shall think about that. It's Tuesday. And I'd like to get it up by at least Thursday or Friday, so you can see how to make your own peg bag. So other than that, his lordship's gone off to take his daughter away to an evening. I think she's gone out for a meal with some friends. And I'm just busy, as I say, cutting this sticking out this pattern for not this one. What did I say it's called? It's called the barrel pants. I don't know who it's by. It just says the barrel pants, but they look quite nice on the picture. And so I'll stick that together, then I'll stick this together. My sew along, I need to put that together, so I need to get on with that. Shirt has turned out lovely. Anyway, I've got to put this vlog together for the shirt, and I gather that some of you are excited because you want to get going on it. It took me a bit longer because I had to film every bit that I went and did, but I think probably it might take, if I was sewing it, I tend to do extra bits. I tend to like to do the top stitching and everything, and I think that makes it better. But it would take me about 4 hours to do, 3 or 4 hours to put together. So I think maybe it's even less, I don't know. So I hope you'll enjoy that when that gets listed. I want to get these pants patterns done. I have more fabric than I want to get patterns, shirts done. I'm going to tell you about this one, and I love this one. And I think I shall make another one, but I've got some loads of vintage fabric that I bought, so I've got to make up some blouses from that. And again, I might do a sew along for this, because I think this would work well with a sew along. But you've got to watch the vlog about it, because I think I'm going to have to download the instructions, and I'll tell you all about that in that vlog. So anyway, 2 things I'm going to tell you about. I think there's a plant growing out in my head here somewhere. This is an avocado plant. It is an avocado that His Lordship's granddaughter had one time, and she decided she wanted to plant it, and it's growing quite big. I think she planted it last August, and it's getting bigger and bigger. So yes, sorry, I've got a plant growing out the top of my head. The other thing I want to tell you about is, you know, I showed you, this is all my mess. You know, I showed you the green linen that I had dyed. Well, this is what it was like. This is, I've got enough to make another blouse or something with this. I thought it was lovely. I bought it from Vintage, and I think I bought 2.5 meters or 2 meters or something. I like it, but brown and black, well, black is my colour. I just didn't think it was my colour. So that's why I'm thinking about dyeing it orange and seeing what that comes out like, looking like in orange. Because I know you may turn around and say, oh, but that's nice. But I know in my heart that if this is hanging in a wardrobe, even if I've made it into a beautiful blouse, I won't take a second look at it, even though it's lovely, and I'll say, oh, that's a lovely blouse, because in my head, I don't think it's my colours. But if I do it if I dye it in orange, then I know that it will be my colours, so I think I will wear it more often. I'm just into orange as well, so that's that. Someone said, what dye do you use? Now, I've done a couple of videos on how I dye stuff. I use these Dylon pods. They are like a plastic pod. You peel off the top, and you just put your fabric in. You put it in wet. It's supposed to put it in wet in the washing machine. I never put it in wet. I just put the whole lot in. I put the pod in the washing machine. I put the fabric in the washing machine. Now, if you are in America, your washing machines are loaded from the top. So it goes do, 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 do. Like in England, we used to have old washing machines that do, 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 do. Do you remember? But we now have front loaders. So it goes like that. And all I do is I put the fabric in. I put the pod in first with it open. Put the fabric in. Set it away on a 60-degree wash, I think it is. I think you can even do 40. At the lowest time, the shortest time, so I don't have it's not in there for too long, and it goes through the whole process. It gets evenly dyed, and when it comes out, it's all beautiful. The only thing you don't do is hang it on a washing line. Oh, well, you can hang it on a washing line, but you're better wherever you hang it. For example, if I take grandson's t-shirt jacket that he's forgotten to take with him, if you hang it on a line like that, or if you hang it on a line like that, the line, it might leave a line where the dye has gone. You know, I did that with that green one that I showed you. At first, I hung it that way across the washing line, and then I looked at it and I thought, oh, I'm getting a change in colour where the washing line was. So it pays you to maybe hang it like that, so that it's from the inside with a peg, or somewhere, maybe it's at the side where it can't be seen, and that would help. Or the other alternative is put it on a coat hanger and hang the coat hanger. Now here's Mr. W. I'm just about to finish, so you can say hello.
Hello.
You can't see yourself, can you? I'll turn you round. There.
Hello. Who's that?
This is Mrs. W.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to go. We're going to love you and leave you and catch you next time.